this video, I'm going to share my thoughts on the book The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This book was published in the year 1985. I always take into account the year of publication of any book because it just fascinates me to see how the author wrote such intricate stories in an era without modern technology or internet. Anyways, this story takes place in a dystopian version of the United States, likely in the 1980s. For those unfamiliar with the term dystopian, it refers to a genre where the future of the world is chaotic, oppressive, and governed by an authoritative government. Before we dive into the plot, I would like to cover the basics. This story takes place in the Republic of Gilead. The new name for that was once the United States of America. Gilead is a form of theocracy, meaning the government and laws are based on religious scriptures. Mainly, it's the Bible here. This government was established by a group of religious extremists who overthrew the US government, blaming them for a lot of world problems such as pollution, decline in birth rate, and moral decay caused due to liberalization or drugs or crimes and crimes against women and almost anything that is not traditionally valued. The Republic of Gilead operates under a strict system of hierarchy. The ruling elites are the commanders who create and enforce laws. Supporting them are the angels, the guardians, and the eyes who maintain law and order in the nation. Also, the women are divided into rigid systems. First, there are the wives who are the wives of the commanders, and they are the authoritative power to take care of a domestic household. Then there are the Marthas. These are the infertile women who are assigned tasks such as house cooks and housekeepers. Then there are the aunts. These are women who are responsible to train and indoctrinate the fertile women of the country to bear children. And finally, we have the handmaids who are dressed in red. They are forced to bear children for the commander and the wives. The story begins with Offred, the protagonist and narrator, who is one of the handmaids in Gilead. In Gilead, the women are stripped of their identities and given new names. So Offred's real name is not Offred. Offred basically means of Fred, which signifies that she belongs to the commander Fred. So Offred lives with the commander and his wife Serena Joy. Her sole purpose is, of course, to reproduce, which is the purpose of any handmaid in the nation. So she is forbidden from reading, writing, and sometimes she's not even allowed to make eye contact with anyone. So her life is just controlled in every way possible. Her routine is also suffocating and monotonous, where she is required to go for shopping with another handmaid like her called Offglen, whose name similarly reveals that she belongs to the commander Glenn. Their shoppings aren't social and happy visits. They are required to collect items from a list prepared by the Matas, the housekeepers. These shopping trips are a constant reminder of how they are under the Gilead's government surveillance, as the women are supposed to cross a lot of checkposts and there are hidden mics almost everywhere throughout the streets. So if they want to talk anything critical about the government, they have to carefully whisper, and they all know that one small misstep could lead to severe punishment. Not only these, Offred also has to take place in a ritual called the ceremony. During this ritual, the commander impregnates Offred while Serena Joy holds her down, which is a disturbing act, and it is also justified by the Gilead's government. Despite this oppressive atmosphere, there is a small crack in the commander's behavior. Offred develops a complicated relationship with the commander where he invites her to forbidden meetings. These encounters seem friendly in the beginning, where they play Scrabble and read magazines together, but Gradually, the commander takes her to secret club meetings where the women are dressed provocatively and serve as entertainers. This shows the hypocrisy of the government that is supposed to be pious. It just shows the double standards and the corruption done by the government in the name of religion. As the story unfolds, Offred also embarks on an affair with Nick, who is the command's chauffeur. This affair kind of provides her a sort of comfort and a rebellious nature against the government. Also, the story has two other timelines running along with the plot. One focuses on the previous life of Offred, that is before the establishment of the government of Gilead, when she lives with her husband and a daughter. The other explores the time she spent at a place called Red Center, where she was trained to become a handmaid under the manipulative person called Aunt Lydia. Did Offred escape Gilead, or did she find her husband and her daughter, or did she conceive a baby? These are the questions that keep the heat of the plot until the last chapter. I didn't enjoy reading Handmaid's Tale as much as I enjoyed 1984. Some chapters felt slow and honestly, it wasn't a page turner for me. But when I finished the book and watched certain videos of the author Margaret Atwood, my perspective changed. I came to know that all the events in the book are rooted to historical events. In one interview, Margaret Atwood mentions that Hitler stole children from Poland and put them in German families to just augment the population of the Aryans. So, after coming to know all these things, I just felt that this book is not entirely fictional, but it is rather a glimpse into what would happen if any extreme ideology goes too far.